Hello, folks. This is Joe Cool for Brie Larson Worldwide. Today, I want to discuss this Grace Randolph video regarding the future of Captain Marvel. And Grace Randolph is like a hit and miss thing. She sometimes can be quite tough with Brie and can be not that impartial, I will say. Um, she is and it's something that she has regarding women in general. I remember her being very tough to Daisy Ridley and to Felicity Jones too. But when she comes to be a professional, she is, and she has good insights when I insist when she tries to be a professional. And I think that's the case with this video. She does a good job trying to figure out what is going to happen to Monica Rambeau and what's going to happen in the future of Captain Marvel. There's a lot to discuss, so here we go.
We're going to start with Monica because her path is the clearest as she's headed for Secret Invasion as revealed by that end credit sequence. That was fantastic. I loved it being set in a movie theater. The feels, I miss you, the movies. It looked like a very nice movie theater. The outside was so decrepit. They did a great job keeping it in shape. I hope all abandoned movie theaters during the pandemic look that good when we go back in. Anyway, of course Monica's headed for Secret Invasion because she's a Captain Marvel character. Almost every character who's not doesn't have their own movies is a sidekick character. Interestingly, Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver were never sidekick characters. They've always kind of been, he died immediately. Evan Peters. But anyway, that situation. And Aaron Taylor Johnson, I wish he'd come back for a cameo. It'll haunt us forever. But anyway, they weren't really sidekick characters, but for the most part, either you have your own set of movies or you're someone's sidekick. And even though she was introduced in a totally different project, different property, WandaVision, Monica Rambeau is a Captain Marvel sidekick. That could explain some of the animosity between them. And also, I think that Monica's not so happy about her mother dying. I think that she has a little bit of a bone to pick with Carol because she wasn't happy when Jimmy Woo brought her up. Remember? You're like, sorry, you're headed for her movies because that's where your character belongs. Now, at the end of WandaVision, Monica gets pulled aside for a clandestine meeting with a Skrull who says she's an old friend. She's representing an old friend of Monica's mother, who's Maria. It's so hard to remember Monica and Maria Rambeau in your head because this name sounds so familiar. But she says it's an old friend of your mother's up there. And of course, she's talking about Nick Fury, who we saw up there at the end of Far From Home. Spider-Man Far From Home. Now, I don't think that's a special Skrull. Now, of course, that's a special Skrull on the fact that all Skrulls are special. We love each and every one of them. But I'm saying I don't think it's the Talos' daughter or anything like that. I just think it's one of the Skrulls working for Nick Fury. He's got a lot of them up there. Now, when we saw that headquarters in space, we thought that was Sword's space station from the comics because it was the station in space with aliens on it. But now that Sword on Earth has been corrupted as S.H.I.E.L.D. was, what is it with Earth organizations? Are we going to get a third organization? Is Fury like, Earth's corrupted, I can't take it anymore. I'm going to space and starting a group with aliens. Let's see, maybe it'll work for him. So what is Fury doing up there? Looks like we're going to find out in Captain Marvel 2, and Monica Rambeau is going to be a part of it because Kevin Feige said that's where we're going to see her next. And we're also going to see Kamala Khan there as well after her Disney Plus series, which is currently filming. So will Kamala Khan's story involve Skrulls? Probably in an end credit scene at the very least. Or I'm thinking also maybe Captain Marvel could show up and pull her in that way, but they're all heading for Secret Invasion. Now, we also know that Disney Plus has a Secret Invasion show coming up, further cementing that this storyline is fast approaching. And that's, interestingly, in the casting process right now, as is Captain Marvel 2. We'll see which comes first, because they're basically being made at the same time. But Captain Marvel 2 is already dated for November 11th, 2022. Well, Captain Marvel 2 set in motion, because I don't know if they're going to do Secret Invasion in a Captain Marvel movie, unless it ends up being a de facto Avengers movie. But how can it if Monica and Kamala are in it? I don't think that that's going to be the case. I think it's going to maybe be, my guess would be Captain Marvel 2 will set in motion the events that lead to the Disney Plus Secret Invasion show, which will then set up, that's a lot of setup, but will set up the next Avengers movie, which will be the proper Secret Invasion storyline from the comics. Because that's an Avengers level event, as Mysterio likes to say. Remember, As I discussed in the Wanda Twins and Multiverse video, Kevin Feige has admitted, and we have to remember this, that nothing important can ever happen in a Disney Plus show because he doesn't want to make them mandatory viewing for fans, because he doesn't want to hurt the movies. He doesn't want people to be like, I can't watch all of this, so I'm going to watch none of it. Kevin Feige is crafting an MCU where you can just watch the movies and be okay. So Secret Invasion isn't going to happen outright on that show. It's going to, again, probably lay the groundwork. And again, you'll be able to see the Secret Invasion movie story without ever seeing the Disney Plus series, which is a weird game plan. We'll see how this works out for
So
Feige.
what do you think? Let me know in the comments. This was Joe Cool for Brie Larson Worldwide. Keep loving Brie.